The Chinese military general who was injured in the 2020 Galwan clashes was spotted at the 20th Communist Party conference. The commander, Qi Fabao, is one of the 304 delegates elected from the People's Liberation Army to attend China's biggest political event in recent years. It was not only his attendance, but shortly before Xi's arrival, a video was played at the Great Hall showing Qi rushing towards Indian troops. It is the same video that circulated on Chinese social media shortly after the clashes in June 2020. What's to note here is that the clip was part of a larger video showcasing the Communist Party's achievements in various fields. This is not the first time that Beijing has glorified the Galwan clashes. The military face-off has been a key narrative point for the Chinese military in the past 3 years. It has even figured in the PLA's 95th anniversary exhibition. Commander Qi has been part of China's anti-India narrative ever since his name was revealed as a Galwan injured. The commander was also chosen as one of torch bearers at the Beijing Winter Olympics in 2022. In light of which, India announced a diplomatic boycott of opening and closing ceremonies. India's External Affairs Ministry spokesperson said it was regrettable that China had chosen to politicize an event like the Olympics. 20 Indian soldiers were killed during the clashes, while China officially announced 4 personnel deaths back then. The two countries have since been involved in disengagement and de-escalation process. Both sides have disengaged at 5 friction points, but are yet to disengage in Demchok and Depsang. And for more on this, we are now being joined by Vishnu Prakash, former diplomat and former official spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs. Prakash, thank you very much for joining us at this hour and welcome to WION. Some see this action by China as an act of provocation towards India. Why do you think the video was played at the CPC? What message was China trying to convey?
Greetings. Our Chinese friends are experts in creating alternative reality by doctoring facts. And this is something which is very consistent. One sees this all over. The Galwan Act is being presented as an act of India's aggression. Basically, they have turned history on the head, and it is meant to whip up nationalistic sentiments in China. Because there is this trend, as you yourself mentioned, it is not one-off thing, it is happening again and again. And also combined with the land border legislation, it is indicative of Chinese plan to play hardball. So there is no escaping the Chinese designs because having staged that misadventure, now they are trying to present it in a manner which is absolutely contrary to facts. But they believe in the theory that you repeat a lie 1,000 times and it requires a ring of truth. So that is what they are up to.
Vishnu, let me ask you this. Will we ever see a resolve to this matter? And what needs to happen for tensions to, cool off? Who needs to do what?
I would be very happy to reflect on that. India and China are neighbors. This is reality of geography. We cannot wish each other away. So as civilizational societies, we have to find a modus vivendi. There is no two opinions about that. And that is what we have been attempting to do till May 2020. Till May 2020, a lot of progress was made. But for reasons best known to China, they decided to tear up all the confidence building measures and agreements. So there has been a setback, a big setback. And both sides are trying to resolve it through negotiations, through a peaceful dialogue, a patient dialogue. Chinese will test our patience, will test our resolve, but we have been negotiating with them calmly, and that's the only way to resolve it. Let us not forget that the Songdrongchu Valley incident was resolved in 6 years. So time is the essence, but I think our Chinese friends would also see that finding a modus vivendi with India is good for them, good for India, good for the region and the world.
Vishnu, lastly, how can a dialogue be formed between India and China to, solve this issue going forward?
Well, the way it is happening, the progress has been there. It has been slow, but there has been progress. We have disengaged, as you were noting in your observation comments, at some friction points. Some friction points are still remaining. We had a WMCC meeting just the other day. So, I cannot put a time frame to it, whether it will happen today or tomorrow, or whether it will take a year or 5 years. But the bottom line is that they cannot expect us to turn Nelson's eye to their aggression. So that aggression will have to be vacated. Status quo ante would have to be restored, and we will we'll try to build trust. It will be an uphill task, but there is no choice. When you are two large countries, economically, civilizationally, militarily, it only makes sense to find a modus vivendi, and I'm very confident that that will happen sooner than later.
Well, thank you very much. I've been talking to a former diplomat, Vishnu Prakash. Thank you for talking to us today. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.